Hi, everyone. Welcome to Terry TV. I'm Terry Hardin, pop icon and Disney's legendary Imagineer. There's lots of legendary Imagineers. I'm one of them. Been in a lot of things, Ghostbusters, Men in Black. So if you're just joining me and you're just joining me live, welcome. It's crazy here. It's Monday. Mondays are always a little crazy for me. And it's funny because I'm starting to think of what else I can talk to you about besides just current news, etc., etc. But I will continue to focus on that. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are. I could always use your input and your help. But today, I wanted to just talk a little bit about Disneyana. And I was going to put a link here, but those of you, I just realized that you guys are much better at searching stuff up than I am. So I'm going to ask you to just either Disneyana fan club on Facebook, go there and search it out, or go to Disneyana fanclub.org and look at the website. Okay. I know I should have posted it, but I have to be honest with you. Today and the past weekend has been absolutely nuts. What started out as a Friday in which I thought I was going to sort of slide into gently became crazy. My dog needed surgery to the tune of a lot of money. And then Saturday, we thought we would go see a movie on Sunday, but we had to cancel it because we realized our little dog needed to convalesce and we couldn't leave her for 3 hours without making sure she, keeping an eye on her. And we need to do that most of this week. So all that I thought I had a handle on, I didn't really. Meanwhile, on that same Friday, Surgery Dog Friday, I got a call from my mother's convalescent hospital, and there's craziness ensuing there. Not because of my mother, but because of the Medi-Cal. I don't know how old people do it. I mean, I'm an old people right now. I don't know how you keep a hold of this thing. It's insane. And every time I turn around, I'm getting upset because I'm running a business too. And I can't believe I just am in shock over that. So there's that I have to deal with today. Plus, I have some deadlines. I have several deadlines. And one of them is a Chuck Jones Red Dot auction deadline. I should have had my painting done today and it's still not finished. So I've got to, right after this, jump on and get it finished. This is a charity event that helps the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. It raises money for that event. It's happening in 2 weeks. My painting should be done. But I have been taking care of that and taking care of that and that and that and So when this happens, it's best to go take in some air and say which wheel is the squeakiest, and just sort of tick them off as best you can. So squeakiest today's are my painting needs to get done like immediately. And I need to go see my mom, and in between there, keep an eye on my dog. Luckily, my husband is retired, so he will be the dog watcher today so that I have time to get this painting finished. But I'm close. I'm very, very close. But you think, I'm new to painting. I started in 2020. And I'm painting in acrylics, and it's really fun. I'm starting to, when I was a young kid, I hated acrylics. And now I'm actually really enjoying them. And there's a new paint coming out that I'm dying to try called water-soluble oils. I don't even know if I would even like them. But the main reason I stayed away from oils is because of the toxicity in painting in oils. And although painting in oils, I'm sure, is wonderful, I did it for a while and absolutely loved it. But the toxins that are involved are just not safe for you. And now that I'm an older person, I'm really cognizant of what things I'm using and how I'm using them, and trying to keep from using things that are toxic. I used to build walk around characters for like Charlie Tuna, Smokey the Bear, which if you've seen him lately, he's completely computer generated, so he's no longer a head. But if you ski at Mammoth Mountain, the mammoth elephant that skis, the head is mine. So I usually sculpt. I don't assemble it anymore, but the patterns are mine. They're still using my patterns. Not Mammoth, but the company that makes the mammoth is still using my patterns. And in order to glue the pattern together, I was using a wonderful material called barge, but very, very, very toxic and flammable, by the way. Not once it's, the whole suit is treated to not, go up in flames like the dragon at Disneyland, but it still will get, so you have to be careful with that. But I was doing the understructure, so I didn't do any of the woolly mammoth fur or anything like that. I did the head so that the person wearing it could, see. It's a lightweight head, which is great, so that the skier doesn't, get too much on the shoulders and get in pain and all that sort of thing. But I used to do that. I used to work with this barge, which I love, 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 but it is very, very toxic. So you have to be outside to use it, and even outside to use it, you can start to feel a little bit of headache because it's just got some stuff in it that's not the best for you. It was originally designed, barge was originally designed to put these soles on shoes. It still is one of the best things for that. But again, you have to do it in a highly ventilated area or outside. I mean, and have a fan going, in my opinion, too. So as I am approaching 67, I sit there and I say to myself, how badly do I need to be working in this material? So acrylics were something that I was introduced to during, I think it was before the pandemic. I was introduced, I was asked by the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity to participate in the red dot number 4. Now we're at red dot number 14. So 10 years I've been with them, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I've done sculpture. I've done a sculpture demo for them, and I'm very much involved with this group. I want to get more involved now that I'm semi-retired. But I thought I was being smart and decided to do just 3 colors, black, white, and gray, okay, to make it a black and white painting. And it's taking me forever. And this is where my problem is that this weekend I gave as much time as I could to it, also seeing my little dog and watching over my little dog. But I just couldn't get, I can't seem to get finished. So I'm laughing at myself because I'm serious. I'm like, it's not happening. And I know I can do it. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of, but it's going to take, I don't know how long it's going to take me today. I'm hoping that I can get it done by, maybe this afternoon, and take a picture, because the Chuck Jones Society, they're so sweet. They'll just take a picture of it so we can put it online and then send it to us, and today is the day that I should be taking the picture. And I'm just like, I'm trying. So being a new painter, this is the deal. I basically took, for those of you who paint, I took the canvas and I based it in a light gray, which is my mid-tone, and then I put in the black, and now I'm putting in the white, and then I'll go in and put in the official gray shading of it. And the white won't cover. Duh. It's taken a couple coats for the white acrylic paint to cover. And I mean, I knew this was going to be the challenge, but I was hoping that it wouldn't take the coats that it's taking, and it's taking it. And also, I want it to have the brush strokes instead of being like super smooth. I'm trying really hard to allow when you come in on it, you see brush strokes, and when you pull back from it, it's not. I'm not going to say that it's working. But that's the idea. And then I was telling the tribe today, my Patreon, the people on Patreon, oh, yes, I guess I should tell you in case you're new or watching this late, what is my Patreon page, patreon.com/TerriHarden, better known as Terri's Tribe, where behind in a very special page that we're on, in a very special group that we're in, we have a private Facebook page. We have Zoom calls every week. And this is the one week I may have to say I'm not going to make it to a Zoom call because I am frantic right now with things I have to get done for the upcoming week. As I mentioned, Disneyana is this weekend and I am a guest. So they're going to do Saturday from 1 o'clock to the evening, feature some very special people, one of which is not me. But if you go to Facebook and you put in Disneyana fan club and in the search box, it'll take you right to their page. Okay. I know I should have had it here, but sorry, I don't. And if you don't, if you're not a Facebook person, or you're like, what do I do if I don't want to get into Facebook? Because Facebook, I've heard Facebook is for old people. The next thing you can do is to go on your browser and type in DisneyanaFanClub.org, and it'll take you to their website, because they know that there's all roads lead to what they have to. They're going to have an incredible show and sale on the 21st. That's this Sunday. And it's like Disney collectors who sell to Disney collectors. The show has kind of become a place where Disney collectors can feel comfortable about sharing with Disney collectors. Okay. So you kind of find a home for your stuff that you love. Or in my case, I will be sculpting the Cheshire Cat. I sculpted the Cheshire Cat. That he'll be for sale. I have pins for sale. I'll have several of my artwork for sale, and yeah. There's another painting I should have gotten done for a friend of mine. When I see her, I'm going to ask her if she still wants it, because my life in the past 2 years has been really nuts. And excuse me, because I'm hearing this. Forgive that ding. I don't know what that is. Me and technology is messy. So so forgive that ding. But yeah. So $5 is the monthly fee that you put in. You put skin in the game. That's $5 a month. Gets you on that special page. Patreon page allows me to do what I'm doing both here and on my Patreon page. And it's great. It's great. And I thank you for it in advance. But your voice is just as important. You need to get in here. You need to get on here, and you can talk more frankly about things that just can't be broadcast on a public channel. You just can't do it. You get the hate, you get the judgment, and on there, at least you get some privacy. And it's the one area where, we're not always talking stuff that we could get hated for. That's not what I want to tell you. But we start to make it a little more about each and every one of you and what's going in, what's happening in our lives besides how do you paint or how do you draw or how do you whatever. You follow me? What's it like to be an Imagineer, or what's it like to have done Ghostbusters, or what's it like? I can talk to you about those here. Absolutely. But I can't necessarily talk to you about the differences for a woman back then as opposed to a difference for a woman now, which seems to be occurring in today's society. That's something I could talk lightly about here, but I really dig into it on the Patreon page. So $5 a month. It's a portal that's affordable. You can put a jar by the door, throw quarters in it, and have that. So I'm making it easy for you. but we both have to have skin in the game. It's only fair. So I hope you will consider being a part of Patreon, and you can do it for a month. Look at the tribe, and if it's not for you, you can do what people do with TV. Change the channel, and we won't hate you for it. We'll just say, good for you for trying something new. And so I hope to see you over there, and I hope you will lend your voice to the mix. All right, cool. So that's what we were talking about earlier today. We were talking about a few wild and crazy things, a little more happening, a little more with more teeth. So Disneyana is this weekend. I will be appearing there on Saturday night. I'm the auctioneer. Why? Because I have lots of energy, and I'll make you feel guilty about not coughing up your money. So come with your wallets full. And then also, I will be at the show and sale selling my artwork. Come by, say hello, get a pin, buy a photo, whatever. It's not all photos. But I will have photos of Ghostbusters, my Dragon's Lair, I've got a really wild one of me working on Big Thunder where my hair kind of goes everywhere. And what else can I tell you? I'll have other things too. I'm just not sure. I haven't laid out what I'm going to do, but I can tell you I'm going to have the ghost pins. I'm going to have a blacklight set for you to look at of the blacklight ghosts, which are available. They're on an order basis because I just don't have the room to make them all and hand them out. So I got a set you can look at, and then you order them, and then I get them to you. So lots of stuff. Pumpkin video maybe, because I do the Outrageous Pumpkin Show, stuff like that. So it's funny, right? I tried to remember what I'm going to do, but I've learned that when I have a table, that the table needs to be less cluttered in order for it to be something that you guys can look at, because sometimes you get overwhelmed with too much stuff to look at. So there we have it. There we have it for the Disneyana thing. On another note, this is Terri TV, so we're kind of delving into some of the things about Disney or about anything that you want to talk about. For example, I'm working really hard to be involved in a Lego convention that happens, I believe it's September, up in Seattle, that I'm really, really excited to be a part of, and more on that later. But that is something that I'm doing. This Friday, I am speaking before Disney retirees. Isn't that exciting? Woo! Honestly, if you've retired from Disneyland, you have really accomplished a true goal, because we all know the revolving firing door through that. You know, how many people are fired and they have no idea why. It's just one day they wake up fired. Their key card doesn't work. So if you've made it to retirement, congratulations for you. I'm eager to see you and talk to you and visit with you at the event coming up on Friday morning early in the Anaheim area. I'm going to be doing that, and then right into the Disney show and sale. And then what else can I say? I think that's it for live appearances so far. But yeah, it's just a lot I got to prepare for. But it's all good. I got this. Anyway, this Disney thing I wanted to talk to you about was, did you hear about the lady who is suing Goofy? It's a true story. She kneeled down as the story goes, she kneeled down to tie the shoes of her child when Goofy tripped over her. And apparently she feels that she was injured. Now, I don't know if she fell to the floor, if he was moving at excessive speeds. I don't know the details of this, but this is something. This is something that can happen. When I was a little kid, I was not kind to the Captain Hook character because my mom thought this would be brilliant to have me meet Captain Hook, and he was the bad guy. I'm 3 or 4 years old, and he's the bad guy, and my mom is taking me to him. I mean, how traumatic can you get? Peter Pan, yes. Wendy, yes. Tinkerbell, yes. Hook, what the heck? So I began to kick and scream and go crazy as they tried to get me next to him. And of course, dangerous for all involved. I'm very lucky as a child I wasn't banned from the park, but or they didn't scold my mother. You don't take your little kids to see the bad guys, especially if they start to get upset. In any case, this is not the case with Goofy. He was dancing about or walking or whatever. And because those characters have limited visual, they have a handler, someone who makes sure that they can perform within a safe space. And I guess I don't know if that handler just wasn't quick enough on the draw or what happened, but that, accidents happen. And apparently she was very, very hurt. So this happened in 2022, and I think they've settled with her, but I'm not sure. She did get a settlement, and hopefully she's no longer hurting or in pain or anything. In today's world, this seems to be the way things go. So I hope she's okay, but I also hope that Goofy and the handler are okay, because she named everyone in the lawsuit, the character who was Goofy, the handler, and Disney. So everybody got the check mark on them. In today's world, a lot happens that I, as a kid, didn't really see, and I really didn't think that as a kid, I never thought I was going to sound like my parents or like parents. Things like, I don't know, you be careful. You felt like you were fearless, You drank from the hose. That nasty taste in the hose that you let pass because the hose had been laying in the sun for a long time. So you fired up the water and you went to get a drink from the garden hose, and it was like nasty. And then the fresh water cleared out that nasty cooked in the hose taste. And you just drank from the hose. You drank from the hose. If you dropped something on the ground, it was the 5-minute rule. We had no such thing as bottled water. Bottled water sounds so amazingly nuts to me. I just, someone out there, I remember when I heard about it, I thought, boy, there's one born every day. Obviously, there's a lot more, because the bottled water industry is unbelievable. And it boggles my mind. It really, really boggles my mind. The things I used to do as a kid, wash your hands, and my hands looked like I had been, excavating for months. And I walked in with these horrible hands, and my mother would go, I'd grab the food and eat it. And my mom would be, now, yeah, wow. So some of the things I'm thinking about, I think that there used to be a time when two people would collide in an accident, and they'd exchange numbers, and one would say to the other one, hey, we get it. It's okay. Handshake, pay for my damages. We're done. And that is a rarity today. Most of the things go through the insurance company. It becomes a big deal. And it's a lot more involved than it was when I was a kid. The attitudes of people, as if someone's parked on the street and they need help, the concern because of certain serial killers who have poisoned that kindness, have attacked people for their kindness by posing as people that need help, make us think twice before we help someone on the side of the road. Yeah. So it's this kind of things that that you look at, and you're like, what do we do now with that stuff? you know, I, a woman, um, I guess they were talking about it today. A woman was in Venice Beach and she slipped and fell. And or she tripped and fell. She was rollerblading. I don't know if it was, broken pavement or what it was, but she sued and they settled. Um, I mean, I'm not saying it's not right. We are not taking care of certain areas as much as we did as cities. Certain things are not being addressed like they used to be. And many of the cities will tell you it's because of manpower, it's because of they don't have the people that they used to have. They don't have the hours that they used to have. Everything's being cut. So it just made me think. I guess that's what I wanted to point out. Is it just made me think that I am starting to sound like my parents, not that I don't say good old days. I don't say, those were the good old days. No, I don't say that. I had some very wonderful times with growing up, and then I had several times I hope I never visit again. I, as an older person, don't understand how dating works now. I am so grateful to have my husband. I can't even tell you. I thank God every day for him. And it's not just because I'd have to date if he wasn't around. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that when we dated, we went out on a date and did a thing that I don't see a lot of people doing. We talked to each other. And, even the restaurants now are kind of trying to be phone centric, like, for example, revolving around your smartphone. So my husband and we decided to go out and have a nice meal. We wanted to try something new. So we went over near a theater in our area, and there's a place we used to eat at, this restaurant called the Market City Cafe. It was pretty decent. It was nice. We looked for places that are kind of insulated. And unfortunately, insulated restaurants aren't necessarily the thing now. They're becoming more and more a thing of the past. And that's a shame, where it's insulated so that conversations don't echo throughout the building because you have a tin ceiling, a lacquered floor, or metal chairs. Okay. It's more of a comfy, cushy chair, curtains on the wall, or fabric to help insulate the restaurant so that you can hear the person across from you or next to you. Boy, what a concept. But in this day where everyone is more phone centric, certain restaurants are choosing to do things that are more isolating than unifying. And this restaurant was doing the same thing. It had a little tablet, I guess, for lack of a better word. It was bigger than a phone, smaller than an iPad. And she said, "Hey, while you're waiting, there's games for $3 a piece on here that you can play." I have my husband across from me. Why do I want to sit and play a game? But apparently this is what happens, is that people sit and play a game and look at the menu on there and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, while you're waiting, instead of having a conversation, which is why I go out to eat. So what happens is you've got to try and work the restaurant hours where there's less people so that there's less reverberation of conversations within the restaurant so you can hear each other. And it becomes a little exhausting. It's really sad that the insulated restaurants are seeming to disappear. Well, the ones that I like to frequent, and I try to frequent them at non-busy times, are, for example, the Smokehouse, which is very popular. I think it actually was established in 45? And, the Brat Packs used to go and eat in there. It's wonderful. It's a very, it's very old fashioned as far as the decor, but it really is cool because you can hear each other. Really nice, really, really nice. Another restaurant very similar is Musso and Frank's, another famous restaurant, a famous restaurant in Hollywood. I try to go during non-busy times because they pack it in when it's busy. Both restaurants do this. Just pack you in like sardines on those busy nights like Saturday and Friday. But if you go on a less busy time, it can be a very comfy place for you and your friends to meet, have a cocktail, have something to eat, and talk to each other, which is what I go to a restaurant for. And then there's the Daily Grill, which is kind of sprinkled throughout. So I think it's called Daily Grill. It's sprinkled throughout, and it too has a kind of a cozy atmosphere as long as you don't go during peak hours. It can be a really great place for you to sit and have a nice breakfast and visit and hear each other. So I'm constantly looking for restaurants like that. If you know of a restaurant where you can sit and be comfortable that isn't gone, I'd love to know about it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It just is a place that it's just a great place for us to talk to each other. Patty's, another famous restaurant, not necessarily a cozy restaurant, not necessarily an isolated restaurant, but really a lovely restaurant. If you go during their not so busy times, it's quieter. So you tend to have to figure this stuff out if you're someone who wants to actually communicate with the person across the table from you. Now, many of you, if you're phone centric, you don't have this challenge. But for me, this is what I want. I want it like a movie theater, only I don't want to be watching a movie. I want to be talking to you. That makes sense? So it's getting more and more and more challenging, i.e. Brennan's kitchen. They made it into a cafeteria. Metal chairs, metal tables, took the carpets out, took the wall hangings off, and now it echoes like I'm inside of a drum. So I even on the light times eating, it's too noisy. It's so sad. One of my favorite places to eat at Downtown Disney has completely exploded into this snare drum loud place that I no longer enjoy. So I'm constantly on the hunt for stuff like that. So, just because I come from a generation that likes to talk to you, okay? I like to have conversations. It is my favorite pastime, is to have a conversation, a good, fun conversation with the phone away from your face, in a purse or whatever. My husband will tell you that as far away from the phone as I can get, I often get, and a lot of times forget about it. And then we have to kind of figure out where I've left my phone. It's a subconscious thing. At least I believe it is. Maybe it's really not. It's not you I want to stay away from. It's just I don't like the phone constantly being attached to me. I want the freedom to just and that comes also from being of my generation, because phones used to be attached to things. It didn't follow you around in your pocket. It wasn't a computer. Not that a computer is bad news. I'm not going to say it's completely bad. One of the benefits of having a computer in your pocket is not getting overly lost. As an actress, I'm often auditioning in Beverly Hills as a character actress, and it's cool getting in, But trying to get out of Beverly Hills, because it has one-way streets everywhere and it has these places you cannot park in Beverly Hills. And they have these places that you can't even drive into at certain hours of the day because of noise. Beverly Hills is like a little maze. So it's nice to have the map, which is on your phone, so you can get out and get home. Getting to there, I have no problem, but I used to have a terrible time getting out. I used to get myself terribly lost and turned around in Beverly Hills because you had to be permanent parking, or you couldn't be here after 4 o'clock. Don't put your car here. Make sure you put your car here. Ah! So I appreciate the little computer in my phone that allows me to get out of convoluted areas, especially if they involve a lot of wrong ways or one-way streets. And that's really something that I just have to be honest about. I'd love for it to be somewhere else, but the maps really are amazing. And the maps also are cool because they give you kind of a time idea of how much time it's going to take you. I think that sometimes it can't really predict. I've noticed that if your map has red on it at all, just forget the time, because they're trying to give you their best guess. But red means all the time in traffic, stop. And you don't know how long stop is going to be. So if it's yellow, you got a fighting chance. Blue, you win. Or in the case of Waze, purple, you win. But yeah, I love the maps, but I am confused sometimes. Having not, I don't drive a lot, so I used to have a sense of how long it took to get from A to Z. But of course, we have so many changes now that I'm older. Not to me that I'm older, but that happened since more cars on the road, obviously, Uber, Lyft, which we didn't have, but also that some people work 4 days and Thursday is their Friday. And some people work Monday through Friday, so Friday is their Friday. Or they are a couple days at work, couple days, so you to try and gauge the traffic. And I think the biggest surprise for people here in California, Southern California, is that if you aren't on the road from the San Fernando Valley or, north, and you're traveling south and you want to go to someplace like Disneyland, you better be on the road before 2, or you're just not going to get there. It's going to take you 2 or 3 hours. Seriously, it's going to take you time. So, you just got to make sure you've got a good podcast, or if you have a CD player, if you even know what a CD is, you can put that in your car and learn French. Just saying. So I don't know why I got on this kick today for Monday, but it just made me think. So let's see what you've got to say. A couple people joined us today. Again, I've got to say, I really didn't know what to post today. So I posted it like 4 or 5 in the morning, which is why many of you might be like, she was live today? Really? I didn't think she was going to be that way. Simply because I was so busy trying to figure out what do I want to talk about. I think it's like menu planning. I couldn't figure out. So I said, well, I'll start, So good morning, John. I'm not in Florida yet, but I am missing you. I'd love to see you. It's been a long time. And Tim Gillette, I was going to see you on Wednesday when, just as I was getting ready to get on the call, all Hades broke loose, and I had to put out some fires. So I miss you. I'm hoping that this Wednesday I'll be able to join you. It's been some crazy weeks. I'm thinking I maybe need an assistant, and I'm not quite sure how to properly use one, or figure out someone to help me with my organization, because I am so disorganized. It isn't funny. It is really crazy. So we'll see. We'll see. One foot in front of the other is basically what I'm saying. So, my friends, we've been here for about 40 minutes. And as you know, it's crazy Monday for me. So, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say, thank you for joining me. It's a real short one today, but that's because it's tax day today. I didn't mention that, did I? It's tax day today. And for many, you're like, no problem. I'm getting a refund. I really don't know what's happening with me. So, I'm curious. I'm hoping that they'll let me know before the end of the day. It would be nice. But. But also, uh, it's not only tax day, but it's um, a day of it's Monday. It's just Monday, and there's a lot going on. I'm gonna go um, make sure I've taken care of my dog, and then my mom, and then what will be next? I'm not sure. I'm looking at my calendar and trying to figure out if there's enough space for me to get enough rest in order to do a decent Zoom call for the tribe. I don't know if I can do it tonight. I don't know what Monday has in store for me, but I have to get this painting done. And there's a lot of other things that I need to get done. So I'm going to tell you that I love and care for you. And I thank you for those of you who have joined me. And I'll see you, fingers crossed, on Friday. Not sure about that. I'll keep you posted on it. Okay. How about I do that? All right. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. And happy Monday, everybody. Have a good one. It's the 15th. So if your taxes are in, you're happy. If you're getting a refund, you're happy. And if you have to pay as much as you can so that you're not overly penalized for it. Okay. And as I understand it, you have till midnight tonight to take care of that tax. And I wish you the best. Okay. I'll see you guys hopefully on Friday. I may or may not, but I'll keep you posted. All right. Okay. Hang in there. Be good to each other.